Hey, I'm just a little bit crazy. Memories are a bit hazy. The flower beds are getting mazy. It enters a little.
How's it going, everyone? My name is Azarus. Welcome back to some more Incredibox. Continuing on with the Colorbox series, we have another fan-made version made by Splatjack. He's the director of this, and it's going to be quite the interesting mod here, considering the amount of polos we see here. I think there's one extra on the beats, effects, melodies, and voices. It looks like we even got some lore to this, so that's gonna be really interesting. So sit back, grab some popcorn or something, grab a snack, because this is going to be one hell of a video. However, we are going to be going over this week's fan art, so let's see what we got. First off, we got one coming in from Gravitron. The title of this piece is called Eyes on Me. And man, I think this is a collection of all the setbox versions with all the polos that have like numerous eyes, or I guess some have one eye. So I really do think it's cool that they kept a lot of these characters throughout the setbox version, and even for the colorbox versions as well. Of course, the one in the center is the Azarus, the mono eye Azarus with the ferrofluid coming out of the eye. That's crazy. I mean, altogether, I think you did a fantastic job, and I'm curious how you did the outline for each of the polos. Like, you can see the outline over me, because it looks like a marker drawing. It looks like you used a marker for it. I think that's really cool. So if you don't know by now, don't stare into the eye. You don't want to know what happens. Next up, we got one coming in from Random Mix. We got a werewolf Azarus. God, that is honestly pretty damn cool. The environment that he's in is so cool and so detailed too. It's very dark, but you can see like the grass blades he created, and even like the background trees, and even the full moon. It looks like I have my favorite white hoodie on. It's all ripped up now, kinda. And my sunglasses. I really do think the detail to this one is crazy. Fire art overall. I guess this is what I would look like if I became a werewolf. I do get a little itchy when the full moon hits. So there's a polo design and sound coming in from It's Amy, but I am going to be moving that to the fan art video that I'm currently in the midst of creating. But either way, It's Amy came in with another sketch. This is a continuation, honestly, from the last sketch that I showed you in the last video. Oh my god, it's like a combination of multiple different Azarus. It's just a bullet hole in the head. We got the slit across his face, and then you also have an eyeball in the mouth. Like, honestly, such a solid sketch. I love how the only color in it is the blood running down from the bullet hole. We got one coming in from Rumi Taka, a recreation of the setbox. Was that version 8? Yeah, lights out. With the locker polo. I think the type of art style Rumi has is so cool. It gives like a cartoony / like anime vibe, and I really vibe with it. And wait, is that blood? Oh my, do I have a bloody nose? Oh my god, it looks like there's a full moon in the background. Am I gonna turn into a werewolf too? You're nailing it with these recreations. I love seeing these. Oh my god, we got some pixel art coming in from Nadir. Like, there is something about pixel art. I can't put my finger on it. I absolutely love it for some reason. Like, seeing something so pixelated yet so detailed is just very cool to me. So honestly, keep it coming with the pixel art. I am a fan of it. Last one coming in from It's Amy. I think this is a recreation of the Mortabox version 2, which the slaughter, right? And that thumbnail overall was just complete chaos, and I can see you nailed it with the chaos. My god, there's just so much happening in there. Yeah, I think that was one of the mods that like didn't hold back at all when it came to like the disturbingness of it. The one to the right, yeah, not having a good time. But either way, thank you so much for sharing your artwork. The fan art video should be out soon. But now let's get into the mod. We're gonna get into this golden mod, and it's looking pretty nice. It is looking pretty stacked, honestly. We got a clock, classic, for the, I don't know what you would call that, the timer, or the loop. So right off the bat, of course, there's some lore here. It looks like we can change it to nighttime. Oh man, I kind of vibe with this. I might keep it on the darkness. And then we got some credits here. Let's take a look. The Gold Team, directed by Splatjack. I feel like I'm the narrator or something. Okay, Splatjack is the director, basically everything. We got Days for the writer, design, concepts, funny person. We got Let's Go for E6, concept, Mopple for coder, Winged Bean for animator Alex, Dumpster, nice, for animator Sep, for animation and mouth assets, and this dude for freeloader. And then we got Gabe for animation, JT for, oh my god, okay. A lot of people for animation. Composer James, Sugar Plum, and last but not least, you for playing this. Oh, Oh my god, thank you so much. So yeah, clearly a lot of people worked on this mod. Yeah, so, and this was also a canceled build, so, like, I don't think it was officially finished. But we are gonna get, oh wait, we have to go over the lore first. Oh my god. Alright, buckle in, because this is gonna be a hell of a ride. Okay, we got a table of contents, that's crazy. Okay, oh, Gold Town used to be a poorly run city, where the government was weak, greedy, and the rich had full power. There was this event known as the Day of Karma a couple of years ago, which resulted in a mass riot which tore the entire city apart. Now a desolate anarchy, it's entirely populated by wanderers and criminal gangs who raid, pillage, and plunder the other towns. We got the Redeemers, run by Callahan Darylin. This petty gang seems to focus on stealing money so they can fund themselves a way out of Gold Town. Easily the weakest gang of the list. But who knows, when those are driven to desperation, they'll find a way. We got the Von Tells, run by Ollivander Von Tell, a generic crime group that raids simply for the enjoyment of it, okay? It's very skilled, highly dangerous, but has some sense of honor and dignity. We got the Dagger Clan, okay? Most dangerous group, run by the Count. Has no empathy or remorse, only sees everything as either a business opportunity or detriment. Wow, okay. Wait, what? That's cool. Are all of them like this? It seems like each of them has their own, like, design, too. Like, a lot of effort has been put into this mod. It's crazy. So we got Josiah Jackson. I'm the one writing these documents. I was sent here to Gold Town to investigate the documents as much as I could after the Von Tells attempted a raid at Metropolis. Oh, that's where he's from. Everyone here is insane. He's age 37, gender male, clan not available. For beat 2, we got Rattler Severus. Interesting names. Age 55, gender male, clan Von Tells. Used to be a member of the Dagger clan, but he was kicked out as they saw his increasing age as a weakness. He was taken in by the Von Tells. Apparently he had grandchildren, but where they live is unknown. Alright, moving on to B2, we got Franklin Rose. Franklin was once a wanderer who would regularly harvest gold from a local mine shaft. However, the Dagger clan had raided it with several tons of nitroglycerin. What? Isn't that something for, like, your heart? How would you blow something up with it? That's funny. The mine was blown to high hell. Franklin survived, but had suffered severe brain damage. He shoved his head in a crate? Because he thinks he's ugly. Yeah, I'm guessing it's supposed to be crate. He was taken in by the Redeemers. Okay. Next up, we got Stephen Prince. Wanderer who lives in the mineshaft. He survived the explosion released by the Dagger clan. He lives by himself and has several stations he traverses to via minecart, essentially making his own private railway system. Very useful for getting around town very quickly and safely. Continuing on, I think I've been forgetting to say the ages, and we have Anne Maria, age 40, gender female, clan the Redeemers. An experienced outlaw of the Redeemers, she seems to pose as a second in command and appears to be good friends with Callahan. Their history is unknown. Continuing on, we got Escoria, that is a scorpion. Okay, age 47, gender female, a scorpion woman and wanderer who has helped me greatly with the background information I otherwise would not have gotten, such as the history of the town. Next up, we got Milton Miser, age 19, gender male, clan Dagger clan. Milton is a member of the Dagger clan that has been severely injured during a raid on Red Town. Despite this, he appears to be pretending to be completely fine, as he's worried about getting kicked out like the Rattler. It seems like he doesn't like or agree with the Count, but listens to him anyway, out of fear. Alright, next up we got Something Everett. He looks scared. He's 18, gender male, not in the clan. A Dagger clan raider who attempted to stop Elwood from escaping their camp. Before he was shoved in self-defense and turned into a statue by the Midas touch. His first name is unknown. Okay. We got Medusa in here somehow. Next up, we got Marty Depp. Is he somehow related to Johnny Depp? Age 30, gender male, part of the Von Tells clan. Marty Depp is a Von Tells raider who appears to have dwarfism. He also carries around a .700 Nitro Express elephant rifle. He managed to return the recoil of the gun into a transportation method. Watch out for flying halflings. Moving on to Jonas Combo. Teach. This is very interesting lore. Age is 25, gender male, part of the Dagger clan. Combo is a Dagger clan engineer most infamous for owning a metal steampunk horse powered by a furnace in its belly. Combo does not appear to like or agree with the Count, but listens to him anyway out of fear. Next up we got Coluta, age unknown, gender female, clan Dagger clan. Some sort of brutish creature made out of slimy substance. Acts as the violent dog of the Dagger clan, but does whatever the Count commands her to do. Highly dangerous. Moving on, we got Eif, Hornet. Age 35 gender male, clan Von Tells. Hornet used to be a private mercenary with the Redeemers, but after seeing that not enough money was involved, he left them to join the Von Tells. Look at him swatting away a bee. Moving on to Fiffle. Age 190, gender male, and clan the Redeemers. A native creature of the Blue Sea that was kidnapped during the Dagger Clan raid. He and his sister were enslaved by them. Fiffle eventually managed to break free and was taken by the Redeemers. The same cannot be said about his sister. Alright, moving on to, is he flipping me off? Name is Cecia, age 174, gender female, Dagger Clan. Oh, this is the sister, isn't it? Yeah, sister of Fiffle, a native creature of the Blue Sea. She and her brother were enslaved by the Dagger Clan while her brother escaped. She still remains. She isn't even aware that the fact that she's a slave. She just thinks she's helping. Okay, that's wild. Alright, moving on to Scotty Hammerton. Age 49, gender male, clan the Von Tells. Some drunk who's always with the Von Tells. Despite being basically a parasite and brainless 85% of the time, he oddly seems to be the very reason the Von Tells has a moral code, as he's weirdly very philosophical and ethical. This lore is very in-depth. Moving on to Wilhelm Beltram, the second command, right-hand man, and most dangerous member of the Dagger Clan, showing unmatched loyalty and admiration to the Count and going out of his way and threaten those who do not agree with him. He built himself an advanced pair of goggles he stole from a purple city raid. It aims for him, which makes him a serious threat. That's actually pretty cool. I'd take those goggles off your hands. Moving on to Erwin Bill. Age 33, gender male, clan the Von Tells. Erwin was a dedicated member of the Von Tells and is also a skilled bird whisperer. He has two favorite crows which he has taught to steal things from whenever he needs it. That's crazy. That's some crazy art too. I like that. Moving on to Marigold Adler. Age 27, gender female, clan the Redeemers. Marigold was once a wanderer that lived in a nice cabin with her husband. The Dagger Clan raided that home and killed her spouse and shoved a pipe into her skull in an attempt to kill her. The Redeemers found her and were able to help her just in time. Now a widow, she rides with the Redeemers. Wow. That's pretty messed up. Moving on to Elwood Midas, maybe. Age 21, gender male, clan the Redeemers. A descendant of the great King Midas, Elwood has inherited the very same Midas touch. Oh, that's the Midas touch. And anything he touches turns to solid gold. Because of this, he wears special gloves to control it. He was a prisoner of the Dagger Clan and was forced to make things gold for them. He broke out and turned one into a statue during his escape. He was taken in by the Redeemers. At that point, would gold even be rare? That guy just continues to make things gold. Next up, we got the Count, age 35, gender male, the ruthless leader of the Dagger Clan. Before the day of karma, he used to be the wealthiest man in the city, so he had the most powerful stature there was. Now that there is no society, he'll do anything to get his status back, no matter what. Pretty cool looking. I like the coin in his hand. Okay. Moving on to Ollivander Von Tell, an eccentric and enthusiastic leader of the Von Tells clan. He seems to be quite fashionable and very close with his allies, to the point where it's more like a friend group than an organized crime family. If a member of his group surpasses his expectations, they are rewarded with getting to wear his iconic and stupid big hat for a little while. Moving on to Callahan Durlin, age 57, gender male, part of the Redeemers. An exhausted leader of the Redeemers determined to save the unfortunate victims of Goldtown. His plans involve getting funds to buy a private island and starting a mango farm on it. He plans to call it Silvertown. Despite his age and appearance, Cal is a highly experienced gunslinger and sharpshooter, and was very dangerous in his youth. Silvertown, huh? Next up, we got Dove O'Bordle. Wow, that's kind of hard to say. Next up, we got Dove O'Bordle. These names are crazy. Age 29, gender female, part of the Redeemers, a saloon girl. Used to be a very wealthy lady before the day of karma. Unlike the Count, she actually seems to have accepted the fact that her life has changed and the overall meaning of the event. She currently resides with the Redeemers. Next up, we got Maddox Hall, age 700 plus. EST? What, Eastern Standard Time? What? Gender male, clan, he's not a part of a clan. Maddox is a demon of some kind. He has always hated the filthy rich who abused their power, and before Goldtown was an anarchy, it was a place where the filthy rich abused their power. Maddox has the ability to temporarily suppress empathy in a person and raise violent tendencies. He used this ability to start several riots that brought the entire government down, aka the Day of Karma. Nowadays, he wanders around aimlessly, not sure what to do. It's likely you'll see him off on the horizon staring at the sunset, thinking, but he's also shown hostility to the Count. And final thoughts, despite the sympathetic discoveries of Goldtown, that does not change the fact that we have been raided by them. All this new information does is prove us that they're even more dangerous than we initially thought. The Dagger Clan, Wilhelm, and Maddox are capable of wiping us out, so we need to wipe them out first. I'd say get nuclear weapons involved. Wow, that was a lot, but that was very interesting though. Alright, so I guess it's time to actually get into the mod, see how it sounds. Let's move on to the first beat. That's a nice first beat. Has bassiness to it, and that's what I always love to hear for a first beat. Usually, moving on to the second beat, looks like we got an eyeball. Clearly, we got the rattlesnake as a beat. Got some slithery beats, I would say. Almost kind of like the hi-hats in a way. I do think the character creation for that one was pretty cool. I like the whole snake thing going on. It kind of reminds me of, you ever seen Rango? Rattlesnake Jake. Yeah, him. He's cool, man. All right, moving on to beat 3, we got the cube. His character creation is pretty wild. He's almost looking like a horror mod kind of polo. Even his sound, it's like someone's banging for help. Moving on to the fourth beat. Let's hear it. That's a pretty nice beat. It almost sounds like an 8-bit kind of style beat, which I kind of vibe with that. We still have the same amount of polos, so it's gonna be quite a long mix too. Oh my god, everything's gonna be long. That is the dude in the minecart. Moving on to the cowboy hat. If you think I'm gonna be remembering the names of these, you are wrong. Beat 5. What's going on? How's it going? Overall, pretty solid beat. It sounded fantastic. And beat 5 is usually the one that switches things up, and now we got a 6-1, the Scorpion, so we're gonna see how this sounds. Half scorpion, half human. That is interesting. Another solid beat though. They're both switching it up. Alright, moving on to the effects now. Let's hear it. We got some very deep synth. It's always between the synth and the bass. And we got some synth this time. Sounds pretty good. I wonder if we're gonna have 2 of them. I mean, there is an extra polo. All right, moving on to what looks to be a scarf. He is glimmering because he is solid gold. That makes sense. And it sounds great. That's it. That's exactly what I would expect from a solid gold polo. That was frozen pretty much like Medusa, but made out of solid gold. Moving on to effect 3. Why has he got that look on his face? He's like smirking. Also, yeah, he is quite short while wielding a rifle that is probably taller than him. He's also rocking that top hat too. All right, moving on to effect 4. Not gonna lie, that was a solid effect. That was kind of like a beat too. I think the animation for that was really cool, and the sound was crazy. Now that I'm looking at this, doesn't this look like the one from Ornio? We're not here yet, but we'll get to it. All right, moving on to effect 5. I didn't even know what happens. I don't even know that was crazy. That was the person from the Dagger clan, right? That was made out of slime. Very interesting sound. All right, moving on to effect 6. Let's hear it. It sounds like drones. I don't think we're in that era though. Doesn't it though? It sounds like little drones flying around. Also, it looks like he's wearing some type of mask. It's pretty cool. Moving on to the melodies now. We got the dude from the Blue Sea. That's a nice chord progression. That's nice. And I love the string instruments too. I love when they have those in here. I'm curious what the sister's going to be like. Let's hear what the sister has to offer. I got a little carried away there. I probably lost half of my energy that I've been storing up. I liked it though. I was jamming out to it. I like the polo designs for these ones too. I think the hoodie is pretty cool. Forgot. Alright, moving on to the champagne bottle. That was nice. That was very dramatic. It sounds like a soundtrack from like a movie. Moving on to Melody 4. For a second there, I thought that was the Tetris theme. That is the second in command for the Dagger clan, right? I don't know how I remember this. Usually I cannot remember things. Who apparently has really good aim considering his goggles. He sounds pretty good though. Let's move on to the duck from Orin Io. We got some whistling in here. Sounds pretty nice. I do love when they have like whistling poles in here and they actually sound pretty good. Yeah, that's the crazy one who is a bird whisperer. Pretty nice melodies overall so far. We got one left, which is, I don't know what that log. Like, I feel like I'm walking into, like, Dracula's castle in Transylvania. We got the organs, though. That was definitely a pipe, not a log. Looks like we're moving into the voices here. I'm curious if they're gonna have lyrics. What do you think? Me too? Alright, let's move on to the first voice.
And everything and anything and many things you touch turn to gold. And everything and anything and many things you touch turn to gold.
That is clearly the guy who touches things that turn into gold. I wasn't able to catch everything of what he was saying. We clearly got some lyrics in here, and it was very, like, crisp. Moving on to the stopwatch. Wow. That might have been the smoothest choir I've heard in a while. That choir was great. And there was no abrupt cut from one chord to the next chord. A lot of choirs have that, especially if you use like the bass choir for like FL Studios. Let's move on to the hat, the hat dude.
Can you feel the sunshine? Neither can I.
He said, "Can you feel the sunshine?" I don't know what he said in the second part, but also it's nighttime, bro. So I guess it would be, "Can't you feel the nighttime?" Moving on to voice 4.
Gentlemen, we live in a state of anarchy run by vengeance and greed, and it's likely to be like that for a while. But I swear to you that no matter how long it takes, I will help you find a way out of life, find peace and redemption.
Interesting. That was the main dude from the Dagger clan, right? Very interesting. We're getting a lot of lyrics in here, and some choirs too. Let's move on to voice 5. Another solid choir, bro. Both choirs in here were fantastic. Ooh, I think they're gonna go pretty well together. Let's move on to the last voice here.
Hey, I'm just a little bit crazy. Memories are a bit hazy. The flower beds are getting mazy. In the center's a little daisy.
Oh, I like the flow of that one. That was actually pretty cool. Now we're gonna put the beats together. I don't think there's any extra polos, right? I don't know. Either way, let's check out the beats, put them all together, see how they sound. Wow, those last two beats added a lot to the beats. Overall though, they're pretty nice. Moving on to the effects, let's see how they sound. Put them all together. Wait a minute, it was all coming together at the end there. Those are gonna sound cool with the beats, man. I feel like there should be like 8 polos that you can put on here instead of the usual 7. Moving on to the melodies, let's see how they sound. I really feel like the choirs are going to go really well with some of these melodies. I'm actually kind of curious what all the polos sound like together. Man, maybe I should make a short of that. Let's hear the voices.
And everything and anything and many things you touch turn to gold. And everything and anything and many things you touch turn to gold.
Like, I couldn't understand a single word when I had them all together like that, but it sounded nice. I mean, overall, man, even with the extra polos, these are sounding pretty damn good. So, on that note, I think we're gonna go ahead and make ourselves a solid gold beat. actually sounded really nice. Overall, I think this was a pretty solid fan-made version, even if it wasn't completely finished. Yeah, you can definitely see that some of the polos don't have animations. So there are times where it is hard to hear some of the lyrics when some of the other polos are in there. They're just, I guess, pretty loud. But even still, I thought this was a pretty solid fan-made version of the Colorbox series, with some pretty damn crazy lore too. So of course, I do want to know what you guys think about this mod. Let me know how you feel about it. Put it down in the comments, you know? But I think that is going to wrap it up. I do hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I do want to thank the members of the channel, the people who have joined the Discord for making it nice and cool, and thank you for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed, because I surely did, and on that note, I am going to catch you guys in the next video.